Welcome back to the Bible Stories series. In the last episode, we talked about the fiery prophet, Elijah, and his battle against the prophets of Baal. Now, Elijah's mission has come to an end, but God did not let him experience death. Instead, he intended to take him directly home to heaven. On this day, Elijah walked with his student, Elisha, to the banks of the Jordan River. Elijah asked, "What can I do for you before I am taken from you?" Elisha did not ask for wealth or fame. Instead, he made an incredibly ambitious request. "Let a double portion of your spirit be on me." This meant he wanted to be the spiritual heir, ready to shoulder even greater responsibilities. Before the words were fully spoken, suddenly, chariots of fire and horses of fire appeared in the sky, separating the two of them. Elijah was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind. The young Elisha picked up the cloak that had fallen from his teacher. He knew that from this moment on, the heavy burden of defending the faith rested on his shoulders. Having received a double portion of power, Elisha performed even more miracles than his teacher, making an iron axe head float, healing an enemy general of leprosy, and even raising the dead. But the most spectacular event was the siege of Dothan. At that time, the king of Aram sent a massive army to surround the city of Dothan to capture Elisha. In the early morning, Elisha's servant woke up and was terrified. "Oh no, we are surrounded." But Elisha calmly said, "Don't be afraid. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them." Elisha prayed, "O Lord, open his eyes so he may see." Instantly, the servant saw the invisible truth. Beyond the enemy troops filling the hills, the mountain was full of gods, horses, and chariots of fire surrounding them. This story teaches us, in times of trouble, do not look at the strength of the enemy. Look at the protection of God. However, no matter how many miracles the prophets performed, the kings and people of the northern kingdom of Israel remained addicted to idol worship and refused to repent. God's patience finally reached its limit. In 722 BC, the world's most powerful terror machine at the time, the Assyrian Empire, marched south. They breached the capital, Samaria. The ending was tragic. The northern kingdom of Israel was completely destroyed. The people were led away with ropes like cattle, exiled to distant foreign lands, never to return. These are the famous lost 10 tribes of history. This was God's severe discipline upon a people who broke his covenant. After the north fell, the remaining southern kingdom of Judah was also in imminent danger. The Assyrian army surged like a flood, surrounding Jerusalem. The king at the time was the good King Hezekiah, but he faced 185,000 enemy soldiers, a battle he had zero chance of winning. The Assyrian king wrote a letter mocking God, demanding Hezekiah's surrender. Hezekiah did the absolute right thing. He took that letter, went into the temple, spread it out before the Lord, and wept in prayer. "O Lord, save us, so that all kingdoms on earth may know that you alone are God." That night, a miracle happened. God sent an angel into the Assyrian camp. Overnight, 185,000 soldiers died suddenly. The arrogant Assyrian king fled back to his country in disgrace. Jerusalem was saved, proving that man's extremity is God's opportunity. After Hezekiah died, his son Manasseh became the worst king in history, plunging the nation into darkness. Although a final good king, Josiah, appeared later, who discovered the long-lost book of the law while repairing the temple and sparked a brief revival, it was only a momentary flicker before the end. The sins of Judah ran too deep to be reversed. The countdown to destruction had begun. 586 BC. This is a dark year etched forever in the memory of every Jewish person. The rising superpower, the Babylonian Empire, breached Jerusalem. This time, there was no miracle, only judgment. The Babylonian army rushed into the city, burning down the magnificent temple built by Solomon and tearing down the city walls. The last king, Zedekiah, watched helplessly as his sons were killed before his eyes. Then his own eyes were gouged out, and he was bound in chains and dragged to Babylon. The glory of God had departed, and the promised land was reduced to ruins. The entire house of Israel, both north and south, lost their home because of sin. Is the story over? Did God's promise fail?
No.
The final lines of 2 Kings leave a hint of foreshadowing. The captive king of Judah was later treated kindly in Babylon. It is like lighting a faint candle in the dark. The prophet Jeremiah predicted, after 70 years, they would return. The destruction of the temple was not the end, but another beginning. It tells us, earthly kingdoms will pass away, but only God's kingdom endures forever.
Thank you for watching. May you have peace and joy.